get many laughs during debates these days, do we? Two big debate moments, 40 years apart. A lot has certainly changed in the country from when President Reagan faced off against Walter Mondale to President Trump's debate with Vice President Harris just this week. And now the author of the brand new book, Reagan, His Life and Legend, is describing why he believes President Reagan, quote, inadvertently prepared the ground for President Trump, and why the two are very different Republican leaders. So joining us now, Senior Fellow for National Security Studies at the Council on Foreign Relations, author Max Boot. Max, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thanks for having me on.
I just, straight out of the gate, want to ask you, if Ronald Reagan were still alive today, what do you think he'd be thinking of Trump and the Republican Party?
Well, he'd probably be pretty appalled and surprised by where the Republican Party has wound up. I mean, remember, this was a president who was very pro-NATO, very opposed to Soviet expansionism, so he certainly could not explain why the Republicans today seem to be so ambivalent about helping Ukraine, the latest victim of Russian expansion. And undoubtedly, Reagan himself would be called a rhino by today's Republicans, because remember, he was a guy who in 1986 signed an immigration bill that legalized millions of undocumented immigrants, something you can't imagine today's Republicans doing. So very, very different Republican president from Trump, and very different ideology from today's MAGA Republicans. And yet, I think, as I argue, there is still historical trend lines. You can see how we got from one to the other. It's not a complete disconnect. You can still see some roots of Trumpism in Reagan's time. And
I wanted to ask you about that because not only in your book, but also in a new op-ed that you just penned that I was reading this week, you say, quote, uncomfortable as it is for many Reagan fans to admit, the 40th president inadvertently prepared the ground for the 45th in multiple ways. So you just laid out so many differences. How did he, set the stage for Trump to come through all those years later?
Well, there's certainly some superficial similarities, because Reagan and Trump were the only two people ever to host national TV shows before becoming president. And they were, both populists who disdained Washington, although Reagan certainly did not use the term deep state, but he had a similar disdain for Washington. I think there's some other trend lines, including the fact that Reagan engaged in white backlash politics, not to the same extent that Trump has done, but he certainly catered to the concerns of white voters about civil rights and used coded language about welfare queens and law and order and states' rights and various other things. So that's certainly one trend line. Another trend line is that both Reagan and Trump mishandled pandemics. In the case of Reagan, that was AIDS in the 1980s. In the case of Trump, that was COVID more recently. And I think there was also that tendency that both of them had to say a lot of things that simply were not so, to, what we might call fake news or fake facts. Trump to a much greater degree than Reagan, but Reagan did it as well. I mean, he said things for years that were shown not to be true. He had a store of anecdotes and arguments and pseudo statistics and pseudo quotes that he liked to use, and didn't matter to him that they were not strictly speaking factually true, because he thought there was a larger emotional truth there. But that sort of, you could argue that sort of habituated Republicans to having a candidate who said stuff that was not strictly speaking true.
And also tone, you talk about how different, the tones were, Reagan being more uplifting than what we're seeing in today's age. Max Boot, thank you so much, and congratulations on the book. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.